there's a lot of controls. So SOC 2, like other frameworks, is very horizontal. It touches a lot of parts of an organization. So things like HR, finance, engineering, product, even senior management, board of directors. There's controls in place for all of these different parts of an organization. It's very, very horizontal. But some of the most important controls that you should be thinking about, even early on, are things that relate directly to how you protect customer data or customer information. Things like access controls. Do you abide by this principle of least privilege? It's a well-known principle that essentially makes sure that the people in your organization only have levels of access to sensitive systems that they need in order to do their job, right? So make sure that you're not giving everyone at the company access to all customer data. They don't need it to do their job. They shouldn't have that level of access. Another access control would be requiring multi-factor authentication in order to access these sensitive systems, right? So how does someone get into something like Amazon Web Services, AWS, or Google Workplace? Do they have to multi-factor in or at least have single sign-on through a system like Duo or Okta? Another important control is encryption. Do you have encryption at rest and encryption in transit enabled where applicable? There's going to be times where it's not necessary and information needs to be public, but there's other times where you have sensitive customer data and you have to encrypt it both at rest and in transit. Another big topic that tends to come up is change management. If you're a software firm, you're building applications. You're typically using something like a GitHub, a Bitbucket, or a GitLab for your version control. How do you manage changes? How do you manage all of your developers? Do you have a pull request or merge request template that ensures developers are following a consistently defined process every time they decide to make a change? Do you require branch protection for changes so that you have at least one independent approver prior to a change being merged, meaning you have the person that developed the change, that created the pull request, and then a separate individual who then reviews that pull request and approves it? Are you running integration or static application security tests and requiring them to pass before merging changes into the main branch as a means of protection over making sure both your application is secure and that a change doesn't negatively affect customers through maybe a change that could have taken the application down and reduced availability? So these are some of the bigger categories and types of controls that an organization needs to have in place in order to comply with SOC 2 and that an auditor would be looking for as they review your information security program.